How you doing? Scotty Bear back. Today's video about all the nomads and vloggers in Thailand are headed to the Philippines. That's right. If you are new to the nomadic vlog movement, all this stuff, let me talk about the beginning. I just watched the video a couple hours ago about some guy commenting on all the comments of him leaving Thailand and how they reassured him that they would still be there. You might remember back to a time, I believe it was about 2017. The place was Chiang Mai. There was a couple vloggers out there that influenced a movement of people that sold everything to bootstrap their freelance careers and packed it all in to Chiang Mai, Thailand. And only a few survived, and at some point these people that moved in and did these meetups, another phenomenon that existed during this period, where they'd all get together a couple times a day, have cheap coffee, high-five each other, and this all ended at some point where tearful goodbyes and promises that they would return after working 6 months as a barista in California, which never happened. And that would be the beginning of the nomad situation in my mind. It was cheap to stay in Chiang Mai, actually. Thailand in general. I mean, it's a pretty cool place. I mean, when I got there, of course, just like everybody else, I thought to myself, "Oh, I can live here." Like you said, friendly place. You know, Buddhist monks everywhere, and once you go on a few visa runs, you get a cold breeze in your face, which you don't get very often in Thailand, of the realities of a nomadic lifestyle. Going over there and hanging out over there, start to detect an attitude of the people that found Thailand before you, and how they resented the people that came over there and took something from them. I mean, Thailand's a tough place to hang out for a long time. Mainly the government's super tough. If you stay too long or overstay your visa, I mean, it's you could actually get banned from staying in Thailand for five years, and fined and deported under your own on your own expenses. But there seems to be a movement where these vloggers are now trying to take over the Philippines. Thailand had been getting expensive. I spent a couple months there in a cat hotel for, I don't know, $3-4 a night with Indians and Chinese people in a hostel over there. It was a cool place. Eating watermelon smoothies, and eventually moved on, taking what was dubbed the Nomad Express to Saigon, and I was like, "Oh my God, Saigon!" I found Saigon, where old ladies, their retirement program is to sell weed to the tourists, where you see still to this day men in fatigues smoking hooters on the back of mopeds. And I thought I found it there. And then 2019, the pandemic hit. Everybody had to go home. They took pictures, like in the movie The Beach. And everybody went home to start their life back. Some stayed. And these people now are headed over to Philippines. When I returned to Asia, expecting the cost to be the same, it was definitely a rude awakening. I mean, costs are up. This is very similar to what I experienced in Tijuana, right? Because only foreigners are paying for these places. I mean, doctors, lawyers, the upper end of the earners are not buying these places or renting these places, rather. Thailand tourists, they really, from what I, watched online, and seems like they're going to try to cater to more upper end tourists rather than the backpackers. Because even when I was there, they would let you tourist run once or twice, right? But there were people really making a making a lifestyle out of that. Lots of videos about tourist runs and how to do them cheaply and quickly. They are not fun. I mean, maybe that's why I'm at least a little nervous traveling around all these places, because you break the rules and it just kind of all unravels on you. So I always get a little bit nervous. I mean, when will it all stop? I leave some stuff in a place, take off to Vietnam, and then hopefully they let you back in. Even the Filipino I was hanging out with at the time was worried if they'd let her in, because sometimes even Thailand will require them to have some show up money and prove that they can take and support themselves, because it's very popular for Filipinos to go over to Thailand and work, and so they're all headed over here. Costs are up here too. I mean, even in Manila, there's some foreigners. It does look like more are coming. They're always coming and going. I mean, unless they're trying to stay. And it is similar to that in Tijuana. Many, many people have come and gone with the idea that they're staying long term. And now the Philippines is flooded with vloggers trying to scratch out some views. I really only chose the Philippines, one, because, like I said, the immigration is quite a bit more favorable than most of the other Asian countries. I mean, maybe Vietnam is a little bit different. Once you're in Vietnam, it's a little easier to stay, but Philippines really, I mean, you could stay pretty easily as long as you're willing to pay. Even a buddy of mine, Benny, would overstay his visa, go in there, pay the fees, which were minimal, 500 pesos or something like that. He would only be a couple days late. I know another fella that basically just came over here, and he just says, just stay and then settle up when you're ready to leave. And I thought that was an interesting concept. I mean, one of the parts about that area in Tijuana in general is that's very appealing because you can basically go into Mexico visa free, maybe even on the low. Don't tell anybody I told you that, and leave when you're all done. This last time I did get a visa, and I've had 6 months visas that they issue you at the border. At one point, they're really trying to crack down on, again, kind of, they would tag you at the border with $20 for a visa. But I'm got to go down the immigration, as a matter of fact, here in about another week or so, and renew my visa again. From Benny's experience, I think I got to exit within 180 days. I could come back, but will problems exist where quarantines seem to be possibly coming back after the election? Many Filipinos that I talk to feel like quarantines are coming back and lockdowns are coming back after the election. And I mean, again, that's why I kind of came here, is because of all the Asian countries. I mean, I was looking to save money. I maybe wasn't looking at Thailand as much, but with Thailand being open and Bangkok being a huge hub, it helps to keep the airline tickets lower. So that's the significance of Thailand to the traveling around Asia. Because I mean, you could buy a ticket to Vietnam from Philippines for like $20, $25, $30, somewhere there. Actually, you could fly all around the Asia area, Singapore, Malaysia, Bangkok, all of these for under $100 any given day. Many flights, many flights. And I felt like a good way to do it would be like, stay 60 days in the Philippines, 30 days in Thailand, 60 days in Vietnam, and then just keep bouncing around that till you get tired of it. I think many expats do that. And I probably would stay in Vietnam, honestly, because of the coffee and just the lifestyle in general, the food. Inexpensive. I wonder how that will affect Vietnam as well, the pricing and stuff like that, with after the pandemic and they open up. I still think they're requiring PCR tests. I haven't looked in a while, honestly, because I've been busy dealing with making videos and just vlogging about what's going on. But the prices in Manila are shockingly high. But, I mean, even where I'm staying now is very, very reasonable. Probably the most reasonable amount that I paid post-pandemic, I guess, right? But the place I'm in, I mean, I talked to the guy downstairs a little bit, and I said, how many people are here in the hotel? He goes, no one. I was like, wow. So, and again, from some of the Filipinos I've talked to, they feel like many of the foreigners have left because of the election and the threat of problems post the election. We're riding this out no matter what. I mean, that's for sure. I'm doing my best to stay and use the days that or stay the days I'm allowed to stay, and see what happens. Anyway, appreciate you all watching. It is Friday, May 6th, 12:37 p.m. 12:37 a.m. New York time. Everybody's in bed. Have a wonderful day.